we're going to do higher level 2014. So the figure shows the logo of a music app for a smartphone. The logo is subject to transformations in the following order. So the following order: central symmetry. Okay, so we've got our points P1, P2, so I'm going to label it here. P1 is central symmetry, P2 is translation, P3 is axis symmetry, and P4 is rotation. Okay, so our points are set out with widths and heights. Okay, so the app itself then is a 40 mil square. Okay, it's like a CD cover that's opening, so that's at 30 degrees, 30 degrees, out 25, that gives us that, and the CD in here is radius 16. Okay, so let's get that. So if you look at our points, P2 is down 80, P3 is down 50, up 65. So to put it on the page, all our transformations are to the right hand side, so we keep our logo to the left, and I'm going to bring it down 100 mil from the top of the page. Okay. So 40 mil square. Okay. Join the diagonals to find the center of CD. Okay, coming over 25. And up vertical. Okay, so, and it's 30 degrees out from here. 30. Oh, and the radius of our CD is 16. So it's 16. Okay. We join the diagonals of the square. Give our center mark for the okay. So that is our logo, and that's P. Okay, so I'm going to mark off my transformation point, P1, P2, P3, and P4. Okay, so I'm going to use this line as the guideline for my measurements. So the first measurement is out 90 from point P. Okay, then we're 70, 1970 is 160. Okay, so the first one is out 90 for P2 and it's down 80. It's down 90 and down 80. Okay. 2. Again, this next one over is over 70 and it's down 50. Okay, that is P3. P3. P1 is over 145. 145. And that is up 65. upper height is 65. Okay, so that is P1. And the last one is P4. Just on the same axis as P1, just over 100. That is P4. Okay, so I have all my points and I have my logo. Right, so P1 was central symmetry. So we'll have P and we're going to P1 via central symmetry. Okay, so we need to get a point of symmetry, which is going to be halfway between P and P1. Okay, so set your compass more than halfway, draw an arc, set it on P, intersect. Okay. I'm going to call it POS, the point of symmetry. Okay, so it's time to start visualizing what we need. Okay, so I've labeled and I've cut out the logo there. Very important the labeling out because there's a lot going on with this logo. So the first one is central symmetry. Right, so basically what's going to happen is we're going to go from here, okay, going to, and it's going to be flipped twice. So P needs to go here, so it's going to be flipped once, flipped twice, and that will be our answer, like so. So that is central symmetry. Then they're telling us to go from P1 to P2 via translation. So it's good to visualize this first. So translation is just, we get a linear translation, which is P1 to P2. It's a line of translation. So it transfers down along it. And that is a result of translation. So the next one then is to P3 via axial symmetry. So between P2 and P3 we need a line of axis. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so like how we got the point of symmetry, set this and we're past halfway to bisect the line, bisect it. Okay, now where they intersect. That is a line of axis. Okay, so what's going to happen here is basically flip it over and you're going to see a mirror effect to it. Okay, so the line of axis P is now going to P2 is now going to be P3 and it's flipped over, and that is our result there. Okay, and the last one then is rotation. Okay, so we'll concentrate on these three first of all, right? Okay, so central symmetry. So I'm going to start by labeling all my points. Okay, so if P, I'll call this A, B, and C, I'm going to call it center point for the circle. And the bottom of the case here, F, E, D. Right, so I'm going to start bringing them points right through now. So I already have P1. Okay, so P goes to A, so I'm going to bring over A. a good idea to mark them off and label them as you go now, because it's good if you want it. So I'm going to go green with this one. Okay, so that is A1. A1. Right. A goes to B. And symmetry B. B1. B1. B goes to D. D1. Okay, let's get C1, the center of the circle. C1. And the last two, E and F. E, 3 PLS. PLS. E1, and last but not least, F1. To the cornerstone. To symmetry again. F and F1. F1. Okay. So we can start joining the dots. So P goes to A. Alright, let's do this. So, okay, A goes to B. P goes to A, yeah. A goes to B. Okay. P is here. Sorry about that. So A goes to A, P goes to A, and A goes to B. Okay, B goes to D, lightly. Okay, D goes to P. D goes to P. And then E goes to F. E goes to F. D joins to E. P and F join, and B goes to D, and C is the center point. Okay, that's just cut out there at the first one. Okay, so that is our central symmetry. Okay, so we are now going from central symmetry, and the next one is translation. So we're bringing all our points from P. So we've gone from central symmetry, which is axis symmetry twice. Okay, now we're going to translation. So we'll bring this down here. Okay, so I'm going to bring my points down. Okay, so P1 is already down. Get my angle. Okay, so I'm going to make an angle and do E. F, B, D. Okay, so get the distance between P1 and P2. Okay, now we'll start marking off D2. D2. E2. E2. A2. F2. And C2. Okay. Now, so we'll go back to our first drawing again, and we see that P goes to A. P goes to A. Okay, A goes to B. A goes to B. E goes to F. E goes to F. And P goes to D. Okay. So P goes to F and E goes to D. We have point of the compass goes on C. Finish our logo. Okay, so that is translation. Translate it from this position down to here. Okay, now we need axis symmetry, which is going to be flipped over to here. Okay, so we'll have our line of axis. So let's bring it across other points. Okay, A2. C2 is going to become C3. E2. E2. Okay. So point of the compass goes along our line of axis. E2 first of all. So there's now E3. E3. Okay, find E3. 3. E3. C3. F3. And A3. Okay, so go back again, we see A goes to P. B goes to D, and A goes up to B. So we'll do that again. Okay. A goes to P. A goes up to B. P goes to D. Okay. E goes to F. E goes to F. F goes to P. F goes to P. E goes to D. Point to the compass goes on C, our center point. And that is axial symmetry. Okay, so our next one is rotation to 90 degrees. Okay, so as we look at it, A and P is our baseline, so they want to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so just in the position it's in at the moment, we're to come 90 degrees off there, just do a rough line. Okay, going back to the original one, AP was our baseline. Okay, so it's our baseline here. So I've come up off there 90 degrees. Okay, so that is the position it's going to be in up here. Okay, so we've rotated 90 degrees. Now, because we're working clockwise, okay, we need a point of rotation out here. Okay, so what's going to happen is, example, it's a 90 degrees is 90 degrees, and this gives us 245. Okay, so you can imagine we want to, using this triangle as a guide, rotate it from point A and rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so it's 45, joining P4 and P3. Okay, so setting our protractor down. We're coming back 45 degrees. Okay, so on P3, back 45 degrees. Continue this one. Okay, so where they intersect is going to be my P-O-R, point of rotation. Okay, so all these points are going to hit my point of rotation and come off at 90 degrees and get the distances. So I'm going to do that now. So we have P brought up already. Okay, so let's bring up A. Bring up A. distance. A3 is now A4. Okay, we'll bring B. B up. So B3 is now B4. D. D3 is now D4. Again, 3 left. So we'll bring E. E4. F4. F4, and last one is C4. Center point. So back to the original one. See that A goes to P. A goes to P. Okay, P goes to D. A goes to D. A goes to B. Okay, and E goes to F. F goes to P. E goes to D. And B goes back to D. Okay, and the point of the compass goes on C. And that is rotated at 90 degrees. Okay, that is 2014, question 5, higher level.